All right, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha HaKodash. The abundance unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to do a response video onto two videos I have pulled up here. And this is concerning the MOTB prophecy and how these devils are pretty much planning to subdue the whole world via AI. And this is something that, the apostles, elders, and brothers been talking about for the longest. And for a while, people mock, they scoff. But now people are starting to see that these devils are truly trying to subdue the world via AI and ultimately putting that C-hip in your body. Okay? This is what the Apostle John tells us. But I wanted to get into some information here concerning these devils and their plans and how pretty much we could possibly see the establishment of the MOTB system here in America during Trump administration. All right. So the first video I have pulled up here is from Valuetainment with Patrick Ben David. And he's a Trumper. All right. He's a lost soul. He understands certain things. Okay. But these guys are lost souls. But they're bringing out some good information here concerning Palantir and the partnership they have with Donald Trump and other people, okay, but mainly with Donald Trump, and how pretty much Palantir will be used to spy on Americans, all right? And as you can see here, the title of Valuetainment video, it says, Minority Report 2.0, will Trump-Palantir partnership be used to spy on Americans? And the answer to that question is yes. What do you think Stargate is? Stargate is the foundation of AI being established here in America. So I'm going to get into this information here, man. I'm going to play about 5 to 6 minutes here of this video. Then I have another video here pulled up as well. But just pay attention to what's being said here, because these devils, all right, are moving fast. And before you know it, this thing gonna be here. All right, so watch this here.
Palantir is a tool. Palantir is not a database. It is a tool. What does the tool do? The tool, like Excel, allows you to take a whole bunch of data and to dive into that data and figure out things. So that's what Palantir does. Why are people worried about it? Because it is an incredibly fast, adept, and powerful tool. The Social Security Administration, Pat, already has petabytes of information on America, when we're born, what we're doing now. They know every job you've had, because every time you have a job and you have FICA deducted from your paycheck, Vinny, it goes to Social Security. They know every job you've had. The IRS, they know, they've got all the W-2s. They've got 1099s. They know who you've contracted for, who you've had jobs. Well, when you take the IRS database and then you take the Social Security database, you have an amazing fingerprint on the American citizen. Now fold into that like an FBI database. Now you know who's naughty, who's not, and all the places they've been. And you can do predictive modeling. What people worry about, Pat, is Minority Report, where you sit and you now have surveillance on people because of predictive modeling on what you might do in the future. And that was the whole premise of that. And so Palantir has these amazing tools. One is called Foundry, and there's Gotham, that could take these giant stacks of data and they could do assimilation and modeling very, very fast. And what Laura Loomer is saying, why don't we take Palantir and take everything that the police know about who's been arrested, everything that ICE knows about who's been at the border, get it? So one, you have an economic model on the future that you could do with Social Security and the IRS. on peaceful law-abiding citizens paying their taxes, what they do, where they go, which most people won't like. Now, what if you do that with all the law enforcement data? That's what Laura Loomer's talking about. Hey, get the LAPD, get the sheriff's department, get the highway patrol, who's been pulled over and who registered and who is catch and release at the border. And let's assimilate all that. And then let's look in there and go, wait a minute, here's my top 10. And Palantir could do that very, very, very quickly. The privacy people are like, well, wait a minute now. As soon as you do that, you end up toward Minority Report. So Palantir is a tool, and that's kind of the way, and I've tried to summarize that as quick as I could, Pat, about what it does and how it can be used.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, you will be tracked and traced in so many words. And this is what brothers, right, the apostles, the elders, the brothers been warning for the longest, that this digital prison is coming, man. And everything is being put into place for this man to bring forth this system. Most people are not aware of what's coming down the pipe, man. Most people are not aware of what Trump did day one in office when he signed that executive order for $500 billion to get Stargate up and running. If you don't know what Stargate is, go look at the videos, man. You'll be surprised what Stargate is and what they're doing, okay? This is very interesting, man. I pray you brothers and sisters out there are locked in the spirit, man. I pray that you're taking this truth serious. Once society changes, which is going to change soon, it's going to drastically change. The only thing we're going to have, man, is our faith in the Lord. It's either you're rooted in Yahweh Shah or you're not, bro. Because this coming system going to break a lot of people, man. A lot of so-called believers going to be broken by this new system that's coming. They don't want to deal with the hell that come with it because it's going to be hell. Trust and believe that it's going to be hell, all right? You want to keep your job in your house or your apartment or your car, keep getting Medicaid, you're going to have to go through Esau and accept his way, all right? They're going to check your background and all this weird shit for you to even qualify, okay? But more than likely, if you just bend the knee and accept what Esau says, then you'll be good. Now, it's going to start off, with digital currencies and, digital IDs. But eventually, as Klaus Schwab said, this fourth industrial revolution is not only going to change how we communicate, how we travel, how we do business, but it's also going to change our bodies, our DNAs. He said we're going to be merging with the machine, with AI. So that's their goal, that's their plan. Okay? But I don't want to, keep rambling too much longer. Here we go. These devils, man. Hey, bro, Esau coming, bro. We've been warned about this, man. So ain't no excuses.
There's a video I sent to Rob in 2023, Pat, where the CEO and co-founder, Alex Karp, is saying that their primary goal is to set a global standard for the world behavior. Those are scary words, Tom, to hear from. Tom,
do you know the history behind it of why they started Palantir? Like, do you know when it happened?
Well, they were funded through like quite literally through the CIA with the QTEL, right?
InQtel, which was CIA's arm that invested in different technologies.
Arm. Yeah.
So originally, when in 2001 9/11 happened, the government looked horrible because they were not able to, see how they got caught. CIA, NSA, all these guys looked very bad. So they tried to build a Palantir, but they were shut down by the government. In 2003. They decide to build Palantir. If you can type of when Palantir got started, Rob, the exact year Palantir got started should be like 03-ish. They decide to build this. There you go. Yeah, okay. May 6, 2003. The founders and names that we just talked about. Peter Thiel was one of the investors. I think their first few clients were CIA, NSA, few other companies. and that led to trying to prevent the next 9/11. That's what they're saying. They're trying to prevent the next 9/11 by being able to gather intel. That part makes some people extremely uncomfortable, but the president is somewhat supportive of what's going on here. And obviously, Musk for Doge chose these guys. Him and Thiel go back many, many years. Rob, can you play that clip that Vinny had? I've not seen that one. And then the other one that you have yourself as well. Go for it.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey,
built PG, which single-handedly stopped the rise of the far right in Europe. We built Foundry, which was used to distribute the COVID vaccine and saved millions of lives globally. We built what we call multi-constellation, and what's often called the digital kill chain. And they're category-defining products. So when you deliver these products to the market, just honestly, people say this isn't going to exist, this isn't valuable, but then it changes the market. And then the market is the Palantir market. Now, that doesn't mean everyone in the world is going to buy our product, but it means most of the sensible people in the world are going to buy from the category we defined.
Now, what's the
This
other?
is Alex Karp.
That's Alex Karp saying that basically his company software single-handedly stopped the far right in Europe, and now they're building the AI powered to be working for our government.
What's this, Rob?
This is Alex Karp at the World Economic Forum in 2023 talking about the primary goal of Palantir.
Go for it.
Then we were asked if we were willing to supply our product philanthropically, basically for free. And I was very in favor of this because our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior.
To set a global standard for behavior, that means they want to control everything. And why is it that the guys that want to...
Yes. That's the goal. This is what the Apostle John tells us in prophecy, man. What do you think what it means when it says that no man may be able to buy or sell, say he that had a mark of the beast? You're going to have to behave to get that. You're going to have to behave to be able to buy and sell and to travel and to do this and to do that. You're going to have to behave, right? This is serious, man. Esau is fucking crazy. Jake don't believe Esau is this crazy. He wants to really control you, man. Like your whole being. He wants to control that. Globally, he wants everybody to behave according to how he see what's fit for the world. This is why the scriptures say he says in his heart that I am, and there's none else. He thinks he's the most high, bro. And through his science and technology, he's going to have that ability to be able to track and trace everybody, to be able to cut you off from society, from life, just by shutting off your CBDCs or ultimately shutting off your MOTB. And you'll be an outcast until they see fit for you to get back into the system. But you better behave, because if you don't behave, then that's going to be your ass. These are the kind of people that we're dealing with, man. They're crazy as hell. All right, now, before I continue on, I want to stay on this topic of these elites want you to behave, all right? Because what they're going to put out there in the world for you to pretty much track and trace you. Now, this is a video from the Young Turks. It says a billionaire creeps everyone out with his AI-powered surveillance pitch. Now, they're doing a response video onto an interview that Larry Ellison did back in 2024. Now, keep in mind, this guy, Larry Ellison, okay, he was with Donald Trump when he got inaugurated, okay? Larry Ellison, White House. Larry Ellison, White House. Watch this. You see him? These guys standing with Trump.
Catalina Crunch Snack Mix. Make your taste buds smile with craveably crunchy
Watch this. Donald Trump is a goddamn zombie.
Nice to see you. Some very familiar faces. Masa, Yoshi.
See these guys here? This is Sam Altman, a demon. Okay, these are demons, witches. But since they're clean shaved, got a clean suit on, you can't see the demon. You don't know that these are witches and warlocks, but they are. These are fucking demons, man. They're crazy as hell. But this is Larry Ellison, okay? Trump finna say their names here. Real quick, gonna say their names. These are demons, man.
Chairman Larry Ellison, SoftBank CEO, other things, and they're coming in at the highest level. We're joined by Oracle Executive Chairman Larry Ellison.
So this is Larry Ellison, right? He's with Oracle. Okay, Larry Ellison.
SoftBank CEO, my friend Masa.
SoftBank CEO, this Masa, a demon, a gook demon. All right, here we go.
Yoshi Son, and CEO of OpenAI, and I would say the by far the leading expert based on everything I read, Sam Altman. So that's great that you're coming, Bert, based on everything I.
Hold up. That's Sam. Hold up. This is Sam Altman right here. This is Sam Altman, a demon. Okay, but let's listen to what Larry Ellison got to say. Right? Listen to this nigga, bro. Watch this.
We have. Remember this terrible case in Memphis where the 5 police officers basically beat to death another citizen in Memphis? Well, that can't happen because it would be on TV at headquarters. Everyone would see it. Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Did you hear that? You will be on your best behavior. How? What will they have in place to where everyone will be on their best behavior? That should make you think, man. What will these devils have in place that's going to make everybody behave on their best behavior? He's going to tell you they're going to have AI-powered cameras that will have the ability, right, to read your face, okay, facial recognition, and they're going to work at lightning speed to get you, to point you out. This is a guy who was standing with Donald Trump. You think Donald Trump opposes this? No. Donald Trump is up here announcing Stargate. As you can see, it says President Trump announces Project Stargate, largest AI infrastructure project by far in history. So if you think this is a game, you think this is a joke, it's not. This is serious, man. These devils are coming, bro. They're coming full speed. Life as we know it is about to change. Everything about to change. Okay? So let's go back to this here. I'll let it finish out. Then I think I'll play some more of this here as well. But let's go back here.
To control everything. The majority of them look like that guy. Look at that guy. Look at that
Is
guy.
it John Stewart?
Okay, this is John Stewart talking about Alex Carr.
Oh, go.
The most effective way for social change is humiliate your enemy and make them poor.
I don't think in win-lose. I think in domination. I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us.
What the?
Well, let's not judge a book by its insides.
Yeah, Esau's a psychopath. That's how he feel. Some fentanyl and spray it on you, right? Using a drone because you oppose their ideas and their plans. He's dead serious, man. These people are responsible for killing thousands of people, okay? This is who the small hat use to spy out their enemies. They use Palantir. The IDF, the Israeli Defense, whatever, they use the they use Palantir to go find their enemies and then bum the hell out of them. Okay? These people are demons, man. You gotta know what you're dealing with, bro. So let's go finish this video out here, then I'm getting my scripture, bro. But you gotta know what you're dealing with, man. Esau is the devil. Keep this name in mind here. Larry Ellison, all right? Sam Altman, Elon Musk. These are demons. Here we go.
Our body cameras are simply lenses, two lenses attached to your vest, attached to the smartphone that you're wearing. By the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way you turn it on, you can't turn it on. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off. The truth is, we don't really turn it off. What we do is we record it so no one can see it.
Record, edit, and share your podcast all in one place with Riverside.
But no one can get into that recording without a court order.
Oh my God, John, you and I were making very similar facial expressions. That was insane. I don't know if he's noticed
tell me
this.
that you can zoom out of that shot and he's sitting in a chair in a padded room, because that was insane. Every bit of that was more insane than the part. I don't even remember the early insane parts because of the, but secretly we keep the bathroom video part. Bathroom cam A, bathroom cam B. We can go to either of them, but only with a court order. No one's ever hacked into anything, you know what I'm saying?
God, this is insane.
Who wants to live in a world where they're begging the AI overlord to please not look at their penis for 2 minutes? Who wants to live in that world? Now, I've been a good boy. I'm about to show my butt. Please don't record this. But we will record it.
But no one will see it unless we get a court order, unless Bush Cheney are back in power, warrantless wiretapping. Am I right?
My God.
Good recall.
So that look, that's obviously crazy. The stuff about the body cams, like, was he just woken up from a coma for the last 20 years? Well, surely cops won't do anything bad if it's on tape. You realize they're wearing cameras right now.
No,
he
John.
Thinks that it's
John, you don't get it though. You don't get it. Yes, they're wearing their cameras and the footage can be viewed after the fact. But this will make it different because the footage will be transmitted in real time to the police department, where the other cops, well known for speaking out against their colleagues, will be outraged if there's, too much brutality being utilized. They'll definitely be upset about that and do something immediately.
So he's a billionaire. So obviously he's a better person than me, much smarter than me.
Way smarter.
Okay. So the idea is that if it's live streamed, okay, then it's in the moment, another cop at headquarters will see it and will put a stop to it. Does he realize that often these beatings happen literally right next to another cop who's seeing it in real time and does nothing about it? And again, and the idea, like, that citizens will be surveilled. You realize citizens are surveilling the cops too. Often we know about these beatings because people are filming it and the cops know that and don't stop. it's like we're talking to an AI who only understands stuff on like a strictly technical, hypothetical way and has no life experience to draw, no understanding of human nature, the way things actually go.
I feel like in the middle of saying what he was saying in that last clip, he realized that he sounded like an idiot. Like he had, like you could see it in his face, that frozen face. Like you could still see it. Okay. He's like, let me, you know what? I'm in too deep. Let me just keep going. Let me just keep going. And then he goes into like the court order when the bathroom break gets surveilled.
This is hell that he is imagining.
Yeah,
it's
look,
hell.
Hopefully he doesn't get to decide how surveillance gets used in the future, because this guy is like totally out of it. But this is the kind of stuff that's going through his head about AI and how it could be utilized to make our lives better. We have enough surveillance, and the surveillance actually hasn't ended up helping, like in a lot of ways. I mean, you literally have people in like different instances throughout several years reporting the would-be assassin that just got arrested over the weekend to the FBI, to Border Patrol, to the State Department.
But was it live?
It wasn't live, that's true. That is true. If he was just wearing a surveillance camera that transmitted his bad behavior to some government agency, then everything would be better.
You see, like, doesn't it seem weird that we've ended up in a situation where the people with the most power and control over technology are those who have literally no understanding or ability to understand human nature or society?
Or the technology.
You know how, like, or even the technology. You know how like there will be sometimes like a civilian review board.
All right, man. So let me get to the scripture here. I'm gonna close out. I'm getting a little late. 12:31. Here we go. Right. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which is the system. Okay. Not the picture of white Jesus. The IUIC teach that. That's a part of the system. That's not the image of the beast. Okay? That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right? Not only physically killed, but you can be shut out of society. Right? It says, and you can go to the Greek word of killed and see that for yourself. But 16 says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Plain and simple. You got to have that MOTB, man, in order to function in the society to come. And just because you have it, don't mean you can use it. You're going to have to be on your best behavior, you know what I'm saying, to get access. Because, look, bro, you can be chipped all day long. If you don't behave, right, your social credit score isn't up, up to par. Like in China, you get cut off from certain things. You don't have access to certain things, man. They showed an example of a guy who can buy a train ticket, a plane ticket, nothing. He had to walk everywhere. And then his face got plastered all over China as a bad citizen. But not only him, everybody who had a low social credit score in China got put on a billboard as a bad citizen. So this is serious, man. But it's going to come down to them putting that thing in your body, man, to get them total control, right? So I'm going to close out with that, man. I pray that was edifying. I'll praise you. How about Shema Shabbat Shalom Kodash? Keep your head on the swivel, man. Stay prayed up. Shalom. Hey, shalom, shalom.